Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Chauskas. Today's the 14th of June 2018, so welcome everyone. So we're going to have a quick look at the markets, what's happening with them right now, what levels to watch out for later on. But before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our disclaimer. So the content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute any invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers research page here, which we update on a daily basis. We throw out different trading shoutouts, different technical analysis, and of course our daily analysis that we throw out early in the morning. So feel free to kind of check us out. So yeah, I mean, I think you can find something useful for yourself, guys. But for now, let's quickly have a look at the markets. So the first one I want to touch on is the FTSE 100, getting a nice bounce here today. Earlier on this morning we were seeing the sell-off initially. Certainly wasn't looking very good and very promising for the FTSE, but then we are seeing this nice bounce to the upside, and now we're currently testing this level, the 77.55. We're not far from that level. I was talking about this area here, just to keep an eye on. I mean, if we get a nice close above this today, this might open the path towards excuse me guys, so towards the higher level here, the 77.95, a good level to watch. Certainly keep a close eye on that one, and especially, like I said, the close, if we get a close above the 77.55, keep an eye on the 77.95. Just to kind of point out the importance of the 77.95, guys. It was the high here that we had in January this year, so we could end up testing that level. On the downside, well, to be honest, it's quite difficult to talk about the downside for now. We are pushing higher right now, so for us to become more bearish on this one, we would need to see a nice drop here towards this 76.10 area. But to be honest, like I said, we are looking more bullish than bearish right now. So looking at the DAX quickly, and the DAX is on a nice shoot to the upside. We are testing the psychological 13,000 right now. I was talking about this one this morning, so told you guys to keep an eye on this level here, the 12,920. We had a nice pierce through this level, and now we are, like I said, we are testing this 13,000. Certainly this is becoming more bullish than bearish, and we could maybe see a continuation to the upside, maybe even tomorrow. So certainly for today it's quite a huge jump already, but like I said, we could see some more continuation to the upside tomorrow, and maybe we could start targeting this upper bound of the Bollinger Band, or even actually the highs that we had here in May. So the highest point in May was approximately around 13,200. so keep an eye on this area. Certainly a good area to watch, and if this is going to close like it is right now, and especially if we're going to get a close above the 13,000, I mean, this is really looking bullish then for this index. Quickly, let's have a look at gold. Now gold is spiking higher today. Certainly I was talking about this level, the 1307. We managed to pierce through that level, managed to touch the 1309 area approximately there, but still we can see that the bears are getting back in control and pushing this commodity, this precious metal, back down here below this 1307 mark. Certainly if the day hasn't finished yet, so if we get a nice close above the 1307, well, I mean, this could be looking promising for this precious metal. So gold could end up pushing higher now. Of course, on the high side here, we are keeping an eye on this 1326 mark approximately there as the next potential area of resistance, but only if we get a nice close above the 1307. For now, of course, we are not seeing that. Certainly we're seeing this retracement, but like I said, the day has not finished yet, and let's see what it wants to do with this 1307. On the downside, Well, I mean, we do have this long-term upwards moving trend line, and which continues to act as a nice area of support. And of course, if we get a nice break below that, certainly this is not, we are only going to become more bearish on this one if we see a break, well, not only below this upwards moving trend line, but also below this 1290 area. So for now, keep a close eye on this, guys. Certainly we're looking more bullish than bearish, and keep a close eye on this 1307. Looking at the US oil, excuse me, looking at the US oil, so we're bouncing off of this key area that I was talking about, the 1670 mark. Now we're breaking this upwards moving trend line. It's trying to get back above it. Certainly it's trying to become more bullish again, but let's see how this day is going to close. If we're still going to close below this area, then, well, I mean, it's probably too much for this commodity to overcome right now. At this point, we could end up pulling lower for now, of course, but like I said, that's only if we get a move and get a close below the 6670. Now certainly, of course, right now it is looking promising, it is looking bullish, and we could end up moving here higher. The first area to test would be this 21 EMA, and then maybe this 50 EMA, but a good level of resistance, like a good level, previous level that we were watching here, is the 69.55 area, approximately there. Keep an eye on this one, but keep an eye on this one only if we get a nice move here above this, and we get a nice close above this upwards moving trend line. Certainly, just to kind of point out as well, this small little area here of resistance, potential area of resistance at around 68.60 could be a good level to watch as well before we aim for the 69.55 mark. Certainly keep a close eye on that one, but if we start piercing that through, then, like I said, then start aiming for higher levels here. But for now, keep a close eye on today's close. Let's see what it wants to do with this upwards moving trend line. Looking at the DXY, this is what I wanted to quickly touch on, and we are seeing this nice pop here in the DXY today, moving higher, moving away from this key area of support at around 93.30. We can see that it acted as already as a good level of support several times, and we're seeing a nice move here higher. We're breaking the 21 EMA, we're breaking the 94 mark, and we're currently testing the 94.20 mark. So for now, of course, keep a close eye on this. I mean, if this is how the day is going to close with a strong candle like this, then, well, I mean, we could end up moving higher again tomorrow. We could end up pushing towards this area right here at around 94.65 or even higher, and maybe testing these highs that we had. Oh, just let me quickly shift this a little bit, guys. Or we can end up moving towards these levels, these highs that we had here at around 95 mark. So some good levels to watch, guys, some good areas to watch. So of course, I doubt that we're gonna end up moving towards this 95 mark today, but could be something for tomorrow, or maybe something for next week, let's say like that. But definitely, like I said, this is looking more bullish than bearish right now. Looking at the euro dollar, you probably understand what's happening with the euro dollar, and we've got Mario Draghi talking right now. We had the ECB statement coming out, so we're seeing a nice move here below this 117.250. Was talking about this area this morning, so told you guys to keep a close eye on this. If we get a close below this 117.250, this is not looking good for the euro dollar, and we could end up moving lower here towards this 116.500. This is the next area of support that I'm keeping an eye on. And of course, if that doesn't hold, well, we do have another one here, the 116.15. But to be honest, below all these two key support areas, we do have this long-term upwards moving trend line that has been running here since January 2017. So could be a nice test of that area if we start breaking both of these key support levels. So the 116.500 and the 116.15. So keep a close eye on these guys, certainly, but keep a close, kind of consider them if we get a close today below the 117.250. On the upside, to be honest, it's difficult to talk about the upside. well, I mean, for us to become more bullish on this one, we need to see a nice move above the 118 to 118 to 400. I do apologize, 118 to 400. So certainly for now, this is looking more bearish than bullish. Looking at the EURJPY, and EURJPY is moving away from this 200 EMA that I kept talking about in my previous videos. We saw this nice move here to the upside. You can see that for several days here we were trying to kind of pierce through this 200 EMA, but it continued to act as a good area of resistance. And of course now we're pushing lower and we're breaking this kind of tentative upwards moving support line. We're breaking below it, and of course we can see that it tested the 50 EMA shown here as the red line. Certainly keep a close eye on this close today. If we're going to close below this upwards moving support line, then well, we could end up pushing lower here again, maybe even towards this level right here at around 0.87 mark. So keep a close eye on this one, especially on today's close. Looking at the EURJPY, and EURJPY is also selling off. Certainly we're seeing this weakness in the euro coming in. It found its support here at around 21 EMA, shown here as the yellow line. You can see, I'll just zoom in quickly here, and you can see that we're bouncing off of it right now a little bit. Certainly we've pierced through this key area of support at around 129,500. Probably if we're going to close here today, and it's for now, of course, it looks like that we're going to close here below this, then well, I mean, this is not looking good for this pair. We could end up pushing lower tomorrow again, starting with these levels. We can start checking these support areas here, the 128.55 mark, and then maybe the 128.15. So good levels to watch here, good support levels to watch, of course. And if this is going to close like this today, I mean, certainly, like I said, it's not looking very promising for the EURJPY. And also, just to point out as well, if this is going to close where it is right now, we are going to get below this this upwards moving support line, well, upwards moving trend line, I would say, probably, which has been running here since around mid-August 2017. And of course, this is already a bearish sign, because if we're going to close below this line today, below this trend line today, this is going to be quite a bearish sign. So keep a close eye on this as well. Looking at the Euro Aussie, you probably understood yourself, it's selling off as well. Everything with the euro, mainly against the G10 currencies, is selling off today. So of course, like I said, we managed to make a nice pop here to the upside today, almost reaching this 157 mark, and of course from then we reversed back down, and now we're trading at around 154,800. We're just kind of balancing below this downwards moving trend line, that started around end of April this year. Certainly keep a close eye on this, because we can see that we've managed to find the pair managed to find its support around this 21 EMA. So now it's bouncing back up. Let's keep a close eye on the close today, because if we're gonna get a close not only above this downwards moving, downwards moving, I do apologize, guys, downwards moving trend line, if we're going to get a close not only above this downwards moving trend line, but also above this 200 EMA here that's shown as the black line, then well, this could be something still in this. Well, the pair, this Euro Aussie, could still be in the game, and we could maybe end up reversing back to the upside again and testing this area here, the 156,200. Certainly, of course, keep an eye on this one. This is a very interesting pair to trade, and like I said, keep a close eye on today's close. Let's see where it wants to end up the day. Looking at the GBP USD now quickly, before we wrap it up here today. Looking at GBP USD, so yep, selling off. Initially, of course, we had this nice spike here to the upside this morning. Of course, you probably know that the retail sales came out better than expected, and we had a nice pop to the upside. But then we can see that we have the bears took control here and managed to drive the pair towards this 133.40 mark. I was talking about this one this morning. Let's see where the pair wants to close, but to be honest, at the moment it's looking very negative for this pair. We could end up pushing lower here again. Maybe even tomorrow we could end up testing this the bottom side of the Bollinger Band, and maybe even actually the 132.05 mark, which was the low here that we had in May. So the lowest point in May, the 132.05, could get tested again only if we get a nice close here below the 133.40. So for now, guys, keep a close eye on this. Certainly there are interesting market developments happening right now. These major currency pairs are reacting, getting in some nice activity, let's say like this. And I would probably recommend to keep a close eye on today's close, and yeah, let's see what it wants to do, how they want to close today, and we'll probably take our positions from there. So, and we'll take our positions tomorrow especially. Okay guys, I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you for listening and watching. I hope you found this useful, and of course, as always, keep an eye on the price action and join me tomorrow and my Traders Espresso at 6 o'clock GMT time, 7 o'clock British Summer Time. But for now, thank you very much and bye bye.